Joe Ramirez. What's up, Joe?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Brother, thank you for having us. We're right here in the Raider Nation Misfits headquarters, right here in the Mother Chapter, and we're happy to be here, man. Now, Raider Nation Misfits, Raider Nation Booster Clubs, we know that the Raider Nation just has the best fan base. There's no question about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
To tell me something that I don't know, right? Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about Raider Nation Misfits. We know that Raider Booster Clubs are all about community service and they're all about family and stuff like that. How does Raider Nation Misfits fit into all that?
You know what? There's a lot of good people in the Raider Nation. Put it that way. There's a lot of different people that I honestly inspire me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different community activists out there that do stuff in the Raider name. I mean, I could sit here and name a few that just inspire me all the time. I'll name one person. I'll name a couple that it actually inspire me. One of them represents the Wrecking Crew and is goes by Cynthia IE. She's a lot of people familiar with her. If you're in the Raider Nation, you're familiar with her. She's always out there. Seen someone like a lot. There's a lot of natural human jealousy sometimes that goes along with doing this sort of thing. And when we do this sort of thing, you have to understand that if we post something or if we're doing it, it's not because we're bragging. It's more of a come and join me kind of thing. Look what I'm doing, come and join me. And a lot of people get that confused. And so that being said, I started the Misfits because I had visions of wanting to do things. I had visions of wanting to help the community, wanting to help people, and represent the Misfits in a positive manner. We get a bad rap. Everybody knows that. When you think of the Raiders, Raider fan base, you think of criminals and thugs and guys getting drunk. And don't get me wrong, we do have those. Don't get me wrong, we do have them. But clubs like mine and other clubs that have been around that I kind of paved the way. The OGs in the club and crew business. They kind of paved the way, and so I'm just following the lead. I'm just following the lead of many great people who have paved the way, and clubs who have paved the way. So I want to keep that tradition and keep the positive outlook going for the Raider Nation.
That's what's up. In this Misfits Club, man, our beautiful Misfits Club, our beautiful Misfits family, man, we have a saying. It's a family thing, right? And we got another saying, giving back, right? It's about giving back. So talk to us a little bit about, we know that this club primarily exists to do community service outreach, and tell us a little bit about that and some of the projects that you've done in the past.
It's a family thing originated because you look around the Raider Nation. We're called a nation for a reason. It really is. It really is a family thing. You go to events, you go to games. I mean, and that being said, I mean, a little detour. Nothing's going to compare to Oakland. Nothing's going to compare to the tailgate and fan experience in Oakland. Vegas hasn't even started. We got to give it a chance. But honestly, the whole ambiance and the whole tailgating experience, it's never going to be matched, and it won't be matched in Vegas, no matter how much what they do over there, how they try to do it. It's never going to be the same. And that's where it originated from because it's like you look around and you're like, oh man, I saw you could look around and you could see in the nation you're looking around, you're like, oh, I know that dude. I saw him last game and we chopped it up and we drank a beer. Or yeah, that guy last week he gave me some tacos. Or I follow that guy on social media and he's a good dude. So you're like, you actually see and talk to these people more than you sometimes talk to your own family. Me personally, my club, I talk to my club multiple times a day, or multiple times a week, I should say, if not every day. I like to call my guys. I like to see what's going on. I like to kind of see, hey, how's it going? You want to, if you need to release something, let me know. And everybody messes up, So sometimes, you need to talk to somebody. So, and what better than family to be open with? So you have to. It's not just this club where I didn't want to have one of these clubs that just comes around during football season, just comes around every Sunday, and it's just we're gonna be here, come and hang out with us, and that's it. No, we're a all year, 7 days a week, all year long club. No off season here. There's no off season, man. I mean, people people don't just need help during the football season. People need help all year round. And if we could do that and give a little help, and it feels good. It feels good.
Absolutely, and I want to run with that. There is no off season. Tell us a little bit about the current projects that are going on, such as the food pantry, and then tell us about projects that you've done in the past, such as visiting the orphanages in TJ, or um, doing handing out the care packages in Southgate. Tell us a little bit about those projects.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, we do this thing, and we do this thing, the food pantry. That's the food pantry. We linked up with the community activist up here in the high desert. As far as the pantry, um, she had a small little operation, and we kind of crossed paths. We crossed paths, and she wanted some people behind her to help, and so that's where the Misfits came in. We came in. We kind of help her do whatever she needs to do. We're out there. We're out there making the boxes. Every week it's from Friday. It's on Fridays, 2 to 4:30. It's a drive up. And in these times, man, um, everybody needs help. Everybody needs help, dude. I mean, it's like you'd be surprised what people from every walks of life come and are looking for some free food or some snacks or Pampers for their kids, because that's everything that we give out, and we sell out. I mean, not we don't sell. I mean, I should say we're out. We're out of food sometimes. I mean, we have to, and it's hard to just close up and say we're out. We have nothing when a car or two comes up. It's kind of hard, but if we have nothing left to give them, because we've gone to the extreme where I know I have. If I have a little issue where I take to myself, I'll give them my issue. You know what I mean? Like, here, take my box, bro. You know what I mean? Like, um, because they need it. Obviously, if I'm a little blessed, they need it. I'm glad to give it to them, and all my guys in my club have the same vision. Um, I know in the Southgate, I can't even take credit for that. That's you, Mario. That's Earth Strong Sound. That's Earth Strong Sound team, and the Raider Nation under the Raider Mission Misfits name. Under the Misfits name and under the guidance of the Earth Strong Sound team, we have the same vision. We share the same visions, so it kind of just worked together, man. It's like peanut butter and jelly, bro. You know what I mean? It kind of just went. It
Absolutely.
just kind of just went together. Kind of just went together, and he. We did a event in Southgate, which was we went to the Salvation Army. We kind of gave out clothes and some gear over there. That was a good event. For Christmas, we went down to an orphanage in Tijuana, and uh, I had to dress up as Santa. So that happened. I dressed up as Santa Claus.
Hey man, but when you look at those photos, it looks like those kids loved it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they loved it. I had one special kid, kind of linked on me. He kind of linked, and he was like, he was just the whole time. He was on me, telling me, when am I going back to the North Pole? Where did I park my reindeer? And where's Mrs. Santa? And at the top of my head, I have to come up with answers. I have to be like, oh, and this is in Spanish, mind you, because this is Tijuana, so obviously it's obviously in Spanish. So I have to tell them, oh, I parked my reindeer over there, over the other side of this mountain over here, or
Yeah.
oh, Mrs. Claus, she's just not feeling good.
You had to get into
I
character.
had to get into character,
Right.
and I had to let them know what's going on, because they're kids, and they don't know any better. And these kids, it breaks your heart because they don't know any different. They've been orphans their whole lives. Their mother, father, whatever, they don't even know them. So we do that. Um, we've gone on the streets. We have a San Diego chapter, so we've gone on the streets of San Diego to go feed the homeless in San Diego. Um, which is there's homeless everywhere. Everybody needs help.
Think Arizona too, right?
Arizona, we have two. We have chapters in Arizona, so we go to a community center over there. We gave out um, pallets of water. One of my members, are actually a president of one of our chapters. He actually works for a water company, so we have that available to us where we could get pallets of water and just drop them off to whoever needs them. So we do that in Arizona. That goes on in Arizona. Multiple car washes. I mean, we try to stay active. We try to stay active for the most part. With this whole COVID thing, it's kind of hard to do anything really. Um, so that being said, this whole summer was kind of a drag because we couldn't really do nothing. Couldn't get together with the Raider with the Raider Nation, and conventions and barbecues and cancer, cancer events and fundraisers that couldn't be done. The next event that we have going on is Halloween. We're gonna do a Halloween event over here at a community center for the kids. Gonna take out the Misfits kitchen over there. We're gonna cook and give out some candies, candy bags and stuff. Also after that, we're linking up with the Cynthia IE, a very, very good community activist in the Raider Nation. Big ups to Cynthia. She is one of the ones that inspire me. But we're gonna linking up with her from the Wrecking Crew, and we're gonna give out turkeys in San Bernardino. In San Bernardino, we're gonna do a turkey drive, so we're doing that. So, and Christmas is kind of up in the air. I'm not really sure what I want to, if I want to do one or two events because we can only stretch ourselves too much. I wish I could help everybody that needs help. I wish I could help everybody, and so do all my guys. I wish I could reach everybody, but honestly, there's not too many. There's not enough hours or days in the week, not enough hours in the day and days in the week to help everybody that actually needs it. So we have to focus sometimes. So Christmas is kind of up in the air as far as where I want to focus, where I want my team to focus, my crew. It might be multiple. I don't know. We're not sure yet, but we're gonna lock that down pretty soon.
Yeah, during these interesting and difficult times, and they are interesting and difficult times, man. Everybody's figuring it out, right? And
Yeah.
excuse me. Same thing with us. We're no different. So basically, if I can just summarize the Raider Nation Misfits, right? We all love this beautiful, wonderful NFL team, right?
Yeah.
The villains of the NFL, but also at the same time, we're all about coming together, family, right? We're all from different places, and you like this, and I like that, and you believe in this, and I might believe in that, but we come together as brothers for what purpose? For the purpose of taking care of the community, man, because that's what it's really all about. I'm not gonna get too political,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But certain people in high places are acting crazy. We don't have control over that, right? We just have
No.
control over what we do. So anyways, folks, there's chapters all over the place. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, just know that there's a chapter nearby you, and we have the information right there on the screen where you can communicate with our guy Joe Ramirez, once again, founder, president, community activist for the Raider Nation Misfits, Raider Booster Club. And I'm going to switch gears a little bit, right? This segment is brought to you by Earth Strong Studio, the beautiful city of Southgate, California, for all your rehearsal space, recording, live streaming needs. DM us at Earth Strong Studio. Let's make it happen. All right. And now let's get down to business, right? Let's get down to business, man, and let's talk about really what we came here to talk about. Of course, we came to talk about the Raider Nation Misfits and their commitment to excellence in community service, right? Yeah. But now let's talk about the team. It's time. There's no more, maybe they can do it, maybe they can't. Now we're going to find out, right? Now we're going to see if these picks were magnificent picks. Now we're going to see if our players are the real deal. I want to start off with the tough question, a yes or no, and then why. Is this team the way it is right now? Is it making the postseason this season?
You know what? I mean, I think there's a different format of the playoffs this season. I think that a couple more extra teams make it, if I'm not mistaken. Um, that being said, if there is a different format, I'm thinking there's a couple extra teams that make it on each on the NFC and AFC. That being said, if that's the case, I do like our chances. I do like our chances of making the playoffs. Um, I think we were maybe like we were a couple plays here and there from a couple games of taking getting a couple wins here and there. To tell you the truth, and it could have been just like a couple plays, a couple extra players. Um, but I think this year, I mean, we say this every year though. I mean, as Raider fans, we say this every year. It's our year. This is our year with a couple guys we got. It's going to be their year. But you know what? There's a different feeling. It's a different stadium, a new stadium. That's kind of like the old saying. If you want to feel good, you dress good. You know what I mean? You dress good, dress for the occasion. And I feel like since we have this new stadium, we're kind of feeling good. You know, we're kind of feeling
Team, I mean,
good.
with that new stadium, I'm not gonna, like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
nothing like nothing like the OG Oakland
No,
experience, nothing like the LA
exactly.
years, nothing like this second run in Oakland,
No,
nothing like that second run in Oakland, you know.
no.
And of course, nothing like those OG years, you know. But that stadium is dapper, man. That's for
Man,
sure.
that's a state of the art stadium, man. State of the art. Everything in there is blacked out. They got I mean, they got the lights glimmering off the strip. It just, I mean, it looks nice. The Raiders deserved it. The fans deserved it. Win or lose, Raider fans show up. We'll be selling out. No matter if we might have 2 wins in the season, man, but we're showing up. We know that for a fact. You got these other teams that will remain nameless that all of a sudden they want to be good, and all of a sudden you got fans. Where were those fans when you were losing almost every game of the year? We might be mad when we're watching the game in the stands, but we're still there, and we're still going to party hard, regardless, and we're still going to rep for our team.
Rather lose with the Raiders, man, than to win with somebody else, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, so I don't know. I just think this year's has a different feel to it. It has a different feel all the way around. I mean, it's obviously a different feel because there's no fans, and it's a different stadium. But I just feel like the stadium itself and us feeling good about ourselves and us having some good rookies that came up. Those rookies I think they're studs, man. And Josh Jacobs, his second year, he's a little more healthier. I think we're down one of our receivers. I think Terrell Williams, I think he got hurt. I think he's on the IR
For the rest of the season,
rest
man.
of the season.
Those are the
So
reports. He's done.
yeah, so he was gonna try and play. I heard, but then I think he just decided not to. But the rookies we got, man, are out of, and then our stud tight ends. We got some stud tight ends, bro. And we got some pretty young stud. We got Abrams coming back. On the defense, gonna make a big difference as long as he could stay healthy. You got him coming back. We got some pretty good stud cornerbacks that stepped up, obviously in training camp because they beat out some veterans for their jobs. So obviously the youngsters are coming through. So hopefully it all gels together, man. And the offensive lines, it's been good for a few years now, with Hudson in the center, locking that down, and he's the captain right there. Our offensive line's been good for a few years, and they're an expensive group too. But I think it's a top 5 offensive line. So I kind of like the team, man. I kind of like it, but we all know what team to beat is. I'm not even going to mention their name. I'm not even going to bless them with their name, but we all know who the team to beat in the AFC is.
And I mean, now, unfortunately, and I say this with disgust,
Yeah.
the team to beat in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. They're the team to beat, man. And, our division is a hard division, man. We got some good teams in our division. So if we can get through just our division, that's saying something. So, like I said, that being said, and Raiders, they always throw Raiders with the hardest, one of the hardest schedules in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt.
Every year we get one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. For what reason? Who knows? But it always works out that way. Maybe that's because we're in one of the hardest divisions. Maybe that being said, but who knows? Like I said, it has a different feel this year, and I'm hoping we make the playoffs, man.
Now we know which team you're talking about, but let's be honest right here. Does this team have what it takes? Can they win a football game late in the year? I'm talking about, can they win in the month of December in that city, in that stadium? Can Gruden outcoach that coach? Can DC, are you with me, right?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't even gotten to my guy DC yet, but
Hmm.
we'll get to DC because everybody feels different about him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can man, this is embarrassing to say this. Can DC compete with Mahomes? You get what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
my, because really that's what it's about. You know what? I think we can compete with them little ponies, right?
Yeah.
I think we can compete with them chokers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Prez, we got two new stadiums. Okay, let's make that clear. We got two
Yeah.
new.
SoFi.
These are the best stadiums in the world, right?
Yeah,
And we
SoFi
got
Stadium.
and then when we play our Southern California game, you, I don't even have to say it. We all know what time it is, right?
Yeah.
I think we can compete with those guys. I think we can beat those guys, and I think we can win some big games this season.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to this team, and you're gonna have to see this team if you make it into that postseason, you're gonna see the deeper you go, whether it's in that divisional round or you see them in that AFC Championship,
Yeah.
they're gonna be there.
Yeah. They're not going nowhere.
Is this team able to match up with this team yet? Give it to me.
No. Unfortunately, no. Um, that team is good. We all know they're good. Um, and they're a generational team, bro. That's sad to say because I'm a diehard, but they're a really good team. I think we could. I mean, I think in our home field we have an advantage, but I think they have a really high in December, in the cold weather. I think they have an advantage over us. I don't trust Derek in the cold weather. He has a history of not doing good in the cold weather. Um, I don't know if he gets real careless sometimes with that ball. And you can't get careless in December and minus whatever weather or in the 20s or teens in the weather. Um, you just can't get careless, and he gets a little careless. And then when but like I said, it's kind of hard to say because in that cold weather is when you hand it off, is when you start to hand it off and the running game comes along. And having Josh Jacobs back there in our offensive line, it gives us a better chance because you obviously can't throw the ball as well when it's like minus whatever. If it's so cold, the ball gets hard. It doesn't fly too much. So you have to hand it off. You have to be able to have a stud back there. And that being said, you have to be, Josh Jacobs is a stud. He's a stud. And I think if we hand it off to him and let him do the work in the cold weather and just let Derek just kind of dink and dunk it, I like our chances. I like our chances. But there's studs on the other side. The Queefs, they have some studs, man. And their quarterback is one of them. And their receiver, Hill. I mean, he's a stud out there. Um, but like I said, it's kind of I'm on the brink of saying that we're at, but I'm thinking that we need. I'm thinking we're like a year away from competing at the elites. I'm thinking we could make the playoffs. We can beat the Steelers. We could beat the Ponies. We could beat those teams like that. This year, I really believe we'll make the playoffs. But to beat the elites and beat them in their house, you have to beat a champion in their house. You have to take a champion out. And that team is going to be there in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, you got to rip their heart out.
You got to take them out. And I honestly don't feel like this is the team yet to do it to them. They've been there. They've been in the war battles. They've been there. And I think we're maybe a year away give us another strong rookie class with Mike Mayock and Gruden, bring in some more. Because what Gruden and Mayock are doing is they're weeding out all the old players that the other GM, I forgot what his name top of my head,
McKenzie.
McKenzie.
I actually, I mean, with this week, don't mean to interrupt, man.
Yeah,
Officially,
yeah.
everybody's gone.
See, there you go.
Everybody's
So
gone.
this is this.
Everybody,
Okay,
yeah.
that being said, this is Gruden and Mayock's team now. Whoever is on the team got drafted by Gruden and Mayock. So
Well,
this will truly
with
be,
the exception of DC, of course.
yeah, with the exception of him. And I really feel like DC's out. I really feel after this year, I really feel like he's going to be out, and Gruden's going to bring in his own guy. He's going to bring in his own guy after this year, because honestly, Derek Carr's not his guy, and we all know that Gruden likes to have his own guy that he handpicks to take over behind center. And I just don't. I really feel like Derek Carr, he's just had his time. He had his moment, and I feel like if he doesn't come with it this year, I think he's gone. Honestly, it's his last year anyways. It's his last year on his contract. So I feel like they're gonna give him this year to kind of prove himself. But he has weapons. He has weapons all on that offensive side. So honestly, I don't feel like there's any more excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like I said, with me and Derek Carr, I'm hoping. I know this. I know he's put in the work in the offseason. I know what he's capable of. I'm rooting for him, but they've sent a message. They did pick up Marcus Mariota, and that was a message.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Mariota is a Jeff Hostetler or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's gonna help him win. He's gonna be a backup that helps him win the Super Bowl. Who's this other guy from the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, it's a message, man, that we got. We have somebody. And I think DC did what he had to do. I like that how he, with this core of receivers, and defenders as well. He was working out. He was working out with them every day. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and man, we will see how it goes. Now, real quick, let's jump on the other side of the football.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna throw 3 names at you, okay? Now we know who Patrick Mahomes, and like I said, we're coming for everybody.
Yeah.
We're not just focusing on one team, because we don't know what could happen with them either, right? We just we have a good idea where they're at. They are in the division, and they are the Super Bowl champs, and they are perhaps at this point the number 1 rivals, been the number 1 rivals, okay? So with that said, we know who their quarterback is, right? And we know what we've seen glimpses of what causes him to break down. And any quarterback, put pressure on him. Put pressure on him. Now he also can make plays under pressure, right? But we know that that's a thing. I'm gonna throw 3 names at you: Mad Max Crosby, Clelin Ferrell, Arden Key. No pun intended. But are these 3 the keys to stopping this man?
Well, Max Crosby's a beast. Max Crosby's a beast, and I really feel he's if not yet, he's one of the superstars in the AFC as far as the defensive side. No one really thought he was gonna be who he was, and so I really feel, but he can't do it himself. They could just double team him, chip him all day, and then you take him out of the game, and then what? There's nothing left. But I mean, and then Farrell hasn't lived up to his expectations. I mean, he was picked 3rd, something like that, 3rd or 4th. He was not
Number
top
4.
5. Yeah, he was top 5. I know that. So I honestly, when they picked him, I didn't even like that pick. I didn't even like that pick when I was watching the draft.
So you're calling that one of Mayock's misses?
I think it was maybe not a miss. I just don't feel like he should have been drafted that high.
Right.
I just don't feel like he should have been drafted that high. I think he's solid. I mean, he's a solid player. I'm not saying like he can't produce for a team and be a solid producer in the defensive side. I just feel like as high as he was drafted, he should be doing work. Flip the script. If he was doing Max Crosby numbers, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd be saying, "Dang, Max Crosby is a beast. He's worth every penny, and he was worth getting drafted." Okay, and if Farrell was drafted as far as down as Crosby was drafted, then you would say he's playing towards what he was drafted as. He was drafted third or fourth round, and well, what can you expect? What can you really expect? But that being said, Farrell should come should. I heard he had a good training camp. I heard he came in stronger. I'm thinking he's gained the defense. He has given him a second year, right? It's his second year.
Right.
So I'm thinking the second year under the playbook, maybe he'll get it. He'll start to get it more. We have some more linebackers to be helping. Um, and we have some cornerback. It all falls into place when you have good cornerbacks that'll lock down your receivers. It gives the defensive line time to go and get the quarterback. We didn't really have good shutdown cornerbacks that would do that too much. So it didn't give the defensive line enough time to kind of get to the quarterback, because by the time they got there, the ball was already loose. The ball was already gone. So you have I think it starts from the coverage. Sometimes it starts from the coverage where you got to lock down those receivers, not let them get space, and then you give the defensive line time to get some sacks. Arden Key, like I said, I heard come out of training camp. I'm hearing some good things out of training camp. That he had a good training camp. He came in stronger. He came in bigger, faster, and he's really picking up on the defensive scheme. And like I said, and I know we got some good linebackers now coming out. We got some good linebackers, some good studs that are going to help lock it down, because at linebacker, we're really weak at linebacker last year. We're really weak at linebacker. I know we were really depleted at that position. So we picked up that was a real strong point that this offseason I really felt like they were trying to pick up depth at linebacker, and depth at cornerback was a real focus, and even in the draft. Those three guys should have a good year. I know we got a new defensive line coach, and then maybe some new schemes. I think is what I forgot what his name was. He was with the Cowboys. Marinelli. So he's a new coach. He's an old school, kind of come at you, gonna blitz you, different kind of schemes. I'm hoping a little change of scenery for these guys will kind of get them going.
Yeah, no doubt. I was very disappointed to see Buckner go. I thought he did such a great job with these,
Yeah.
developing these defensive linemen, and I thought Key and Clelin Farrell, I thought he was picking it up at the end of the season, and then Max started tearing it up. We'll see, but we definitely know that that's the key. For me, it's, man, you got to get to that. If you don't get to that quarterback, it's hard to lock down some of these receivers.
True.
When you let that quarterback and that was a problem that the Raiders had. So hopefully, man, they can rush that quarterback and pressure and not allow them to get a lot of yardage, man. And we're hoping for that. And also we're hoping for special teams too. That the Carlson, the kicker, and we're hoping that they can do really good job and kick these field goals, because really, like you said, when you think about it, it's like we lost when it would be a missed extra point back in the second quarter.
Yeah. It was a couple points here and there.
Or a missed field goal from 30 yards out.
Yeah.
So anyways, man, we tighten up those little things. Hey, man, we're excited about our team. We love our team. And now, man, we're going to go ahead and transition, right? And this segment is brought to you by Raider Nation Misfits shirts, right? And we know that the bro Joe, he can make shirts for you. He can make hoodies for you. All that short sleeve, long sleeve, the best materials, the best quality, okay? Get at him. Okay, the information is right there on the screen, all right? And get at them so that we can make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, and now, this is probably the best part of the show right here, the most fun part of the show. Man, tell me, man, your favorite Raider memory. It could be anything. watching a memory that you had watching a Raider game, or being at the Raider game, or a tailgate party, right before the Raider game or something like that, or a celebration after, leaving the Raider stadium, whatever, or a Misfits event. Tell us, man, what is your favorite Raider memory?
A memory that sticks out in my mind, and it might not be the greatest memory. It's probably a memory that the Raider fans tend to want to forget, or it's a bad memory. I remember being a teen. I don't even know how old I was, a teenager, maybe a preteen. I don't even know. But I remember watching the Raider game when Bo Jackson hurt himself.
Yeah.
I remember that game, man, and
It was a playoff game against
yeah,
the Bengals.
against the Bengals, and I remember watching it. I was sitting there, and we were watching it at someone's house. I think I was with somewhere, my uncles or something. That was a long time ago. I'm not too young anymore, so
Yep. Ran into the AFC champion Buffalo Bills the next week,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, and
we thought we had a chance with
it
Bo.
was a good year. It was a good year. We thought we were gonna go.
And Hostetler wasn't a bad quarterback.
No, he was a good quarterback, and we had a solid team, bro. And I remember that game where he was just running down. I think it was just an outside sweep or something like that. And he was just heading out, classic Bo. He was just kind of going. He was gone. He would have been gone. And all of a sudden, he pulls up lame, and he gets hit. And, it didn't seem like very much at the time.
Man, and you still had. You want to hear something crazy with that team?
Huh.
So Bo was the number one. Bro, who was the number 2 running back on that team?
It was Marcus Allen.
Bro, isn't that crazy?
We were stacked, and I know I think at that time Marcus Allen and Al Davis were going at it. So
Yeah.
I don't think he was even allowing him to play at that time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were pretty. When you look at that footage,
Yeah.
Marcus was brought in as a fullback.
Yeah.
So they hand that ball off to Bo, and then Marcus just boom hits the first guy.
Yeah. Takes him out.
Boom hits another guy,
Yeah.
and Bo's gone.
Yeah. He was gone down the sideline. He was gone, and all of a sudden, what stands in my mind is he just kind of just came out limping, and you just see him holding his leg. And at the time, you can't say hip because I didn't know what it was. So at the time, he was just holding his side, kind of limping. And you're just like thinking, you're just thinking, okay, he got hit or sprained muscle or something.
Because he got up and he walked off.
Yeah, he got up and he took off, and there was just nothing. And then but I remember that specifically because later on, that was a big injury. Like
Yeah.
later on, that was the end of his career pretty much.
His football career.
Yeah,
at
that
least.
was it, end of his football career. And so when you look back and you think about it, you're like, wow, I remember that game. Or you remember, come on, who doesn't remember the tuck rule game? Who doesn't remember that game where it's like, it was a fumble. Everybody knows that. And it still pisses us off to this day.
You know what? We hold on to the okay. So there's a moment when the fumble happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just that moment of joy,
Yeah.
of celebration, of jubilee,
Yeah.
of what's the word? Hey, losing our minds.
We were celebrating. We were jumping
Losing
up
our
and down.
minds.
Woodson was there. I remember Romanowski was in the mix, and it was during the snow.
Woodson caused the fumble.
Yeah, and you saw those guys right there, and you're like, yeah, our main dudes are there, man. And you're just going nuts. It's a fumble. Fuck Tom Brady, and you're just like going at it. And
Tom Brady wasn't even Tom Brady at that time. He was just like
he was a nobody. He was just a nobody that just kind of was in there backing up. What was that guy's name? I don't know. I don't keep track of Patriots, but anyways, he was just like a backup for a while. Anyways, but that was a fumble, man. And then they call it as a non-fumble, and they made up some stupid fucking rule where it's a tuck rule. It's not even a rule anymore. It's just like
never was a rule.
Yeah.
Never was never had been called before. Never was called again after.
It was fucking stupid. Everybody knows. And I think years later, I think it might have been this past year or this past summer, I think Tom Brady even said it was a fumble. Tom Brady even said he admitted that it was a fumble after all these years. And I know Woodson's been going at it for years saying that he was adamant, just like we all are, that it was adamant it was a fumble. They robbed us. And the league's hatred for the Raiders so bad that they did not want us to succeed. And that man, I remember that breaking the Raider Nation's heart, man. That was like a dagger. That was like a dagger. Like we had it in our hands, bro. Like, but those two memories, man, they stick out for me. I mean, as far as those two Raider memories stick out, I got a bunch of other memories with, your first Raider game, or my first Raider game, and or my first tailgate experience, or my first, stuff like that. Those are always good memories to have, and those are always memories that you look for and that you miss now because we haven't been able to play, we haven't been able to get together, no events, no conventions, and you start to miss these guys, man. You start to mean like, dang, I miss being out there with my dudes, man. I miss going out there. I miss the family environment to get away from our daily lives for like a few hours for a one day out of the week is what a lot of people look forward to. A lot of people look forward to maybe just going golfing or going and doing something. A lot of the Raider Nation guys that die hard, that bleed silver and black, we look forward to Sundays, Mondays and Thursdays now. And I'm hearing now they might even play on Saturdays. I don't know, but we miss those game days. Put it that way. You miss those game days. You look forward to game days. And a lot of us only have. If you're married, I mean, you might only have permission to go out that day. You know what I mean? Like you might only have permission to go out and hang out with your buddies that day.
That's what's up, man.
So you're just like, so it's like we look forward to those, man. We look forward to those, and not being, like I said, not being able to do it now. It's hard, but at least we can watch the games. I mean, at least that.
Yeah, you're right. We do have that. For me, man, I remember watching the games on K-Cow Channel 9, man. Those games in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
And no doubt, man, no doubt. Anytime the few times that the Raiders were in the playoffs, just a game every Sunday, whether it was a glorious win, whether it was a miserable loss. And then for me, man, I guess one that still sticks out was the last game. Derek Carr does run out. He does get a first down, which would end the game.
Yeah.
And, for whatever reason, they don't give him the first down. They give him a delay of game. They have to punt. And then the Jaguars inexplicably go down and score. And they're up. But it was crazy, man. It was really crazy. It was the NFL dancing on Al Davis's grave one last time. Hey, man, they can hate. They can do whatever they want. We're still the Raiders. We're back. This team is built to last now.
Yeah.
Got a brand new home, man. To me, it's a tragedy that they're out of California, but they got a brand new home, so it is what it is, and we're moving forward. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Hey, Prez, it's been good having you here on this podcast. Thanks a lot, man. And you know what? We're going to be doing more of these Raider Nation podcasts. And, today was just to get to know who you are and what the Misfits are all about. But when everybody tunes in next time, man, we're going to have guests, and we're going to have the, different members from the different crews, Raider Nation Misfits crews out there. So it's really going to be a good time, man. Do you have a message for all the young Raider fans out there growing up, man?
Hey, man, all I can really say is just trying to, as a Raider fan, flip that switch, man. Give us a better positive look in the community. Let people know that it's not just all about partying and I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. And as a young fan, I could just say, just represent your team proudly and positively, and use your platform that the Raiders and people like me and other clubs have laid out for you, as far as giving back. There's opportunities available to you guys to give back and to do it under the Raiders name, and do it under your name and be proud of it. Because in my understanding and how I've learned over the years is, if you do, a lot of people want to help, they just don't know how, or they don't know how to take the first step. But if you give them that platform and you lay the foundation, people will come do it. They will help. They just don't sometimes don't want to take the lead. But if you be a leader, there's no leaders. I mean, there's no voice is not important. and that's how I run my club. Everybody's voice is heard, and we're all the same on the same level. I just so happen to be the founder and the one who started it, but the labels, they don't matter. It really doesn't matter because we're all our opinion matters. Everybody's opinion matters, and I would say just be a leader. Be a leader in whatever you do, and in the Raider Nation, strive to be a leader and helping the community.
Man, that's a beautiful thing right there. That's what it's all about. Being a leader. Don't just be a follower. Be a leader. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. Prez, Joe Ramirez, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. And you know what, man, we're gonna be coming back, right? And we're gonna be doing this for the Raider Nation familia out there. Okay, but so thanks everybody. Make sure that you tune in next week. All right, and we're also going to be answering your questions, all right? So make sure that you leave your comments below, all right? Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, okay? And then on behalf of Earth Strong Sound Underground Series, Raider Nation Misfits Podcast, and the president, Joe Ramirez, it's your boy, the man himself, sounding off. Raider.